Thank you again, Ruhan, for your time this afternoon. Can you give us your initial reaction to this budget that's been tabled today? As the DA, what do you have to say?
Well, it's really not that much of a change from what we had. We've seen that the equitable share hasn't grown, and the other problem that we are definitely seeing is that rollovers make up the bulk of the adjustment, and that means that service delivery has already been impacted. It is not yet to be impacted because those rollovers in the amount of 1.2 billion rand should have been used already to deliver services to the residents of Gauteng, and we remain very concerned about the fact that we keep racking up a deficit in the province that has now seen a record high at 5.4 billion rand.
The MEC outlining that despite the constrained fiscal sort of position that he's in, no jobs will be cut. What's your reaction as we know that the wage bill weighs quite heavy on the budget?
Well, one of the things that I maintain is that as provinces, we need that equitable share. And Gauteng is well within its 60% target on, or maximum budget on wages. But one of the problems that we are seeing is the fact that we need an activist provincial government that actually goes and engages national government, because these wage negotiations are done nationally, and yet national government, despite agreeing to the additional wages, has not sent any money down to the provinces, eating away at service delivery. So we need more of that activism coming out of the agencies and the Premier.
And revenue expected not to pick up, only slightly really, 8.3 billion from the 8 billion in the coming year. Talk to us about that, because the MEC have outlined that municipalities, electricity, the biggest revenue driver there, but a lot of them struggling, and the plan there is to speak to the national government, the electricity minister there, and they've got plans around that. But how feasible do you think those plans are?
Well, I think that the municipal budgeting framework needs to change in its entirety. What that will take, I cannot just say off the cuff, but there is certainly a problem coming in. You know, a lot of people have gone off the grid. Municipalities are struggling in a very big way with revenue collection. So we need to rethink how municipalities are actually funded. So I would actually support the MEC in those sorts of negotiations going forward.
All right, and then finally, any other sort of reflections from you? We've already touched on debt, the issue there, the deficit increasing, and we've touched on the jobs. But from your side, anything else that you sort of wanted to point out?
Well, one of the problems that we've seen from our second quarter report is that the adjustment budget, or the deficit even that was announced today, is not what is being anticipated. The province is expecting a 7.1 billion rand deficit this year, which means that we are likely to go into the territory of unauthorized expenditure, or perhaps a second adjustment that would need to take place. And this particularly affects the health department with the procurement of medicine and medical supplies. So we are going to monitor that situation very closely, because that is one area where our provincial government cannot fail.
All right, on that note, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much.